Hello everyone, it is Irie Public Studs, and welcome to our LEGO Star Wars The Phantom Menace Episode 1 Set Ideas video. Now, LEGO has not done a lot of specific things from the Phantom Menace movie, and I really thought this was an appropriate time to do a Set Ideas video. And on top of that, Set Ideas videos generally are pretty popular and beloved by everyone, so I wanted to give you guys my own ideas for sets that LEGO should do related to the Phantom Menace, and I want to hear your thoughts down below. But with that said, I'm going to ask you all to subscribe, hit the bell, and let's get right on into our picks. So first off, right off the bat, I figured I'd choose a Microfighter. So for this we have at $9.99 the Nabooian Cruiser Microfighter. So this is the Royal Naboo Cruiser. This would come with Padme, likely in her version from the Anakin's Pod Racer. I just thought this would be a nice little microfighter. We've already gotten Darth Maul's Infiltrator, and I think this would work well. We've gotten the N1 Naboo fighter. I just thought this would be a nice little one. I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, so let's move into the next one, which is the Gungan Battle Pack. Now, I predict this would be, more of a 15-style battle pack as opposed to a $30 one. But, they do have the $30 model right here. So, it would come with 4 Gungans. And, maybe a Kadu build, which would be pretty cool. Maybe you'd have, like, that little bomb holder. You could even, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw a Droidica as a possible build. Gungans are great. You could have different versions. You have purple ones, Jar Jar looking ones, all the different kinds. Gungans are really, really vary. And it would be really nice to see, a little Gungan battle pack. And you could have to go against them a Battle Droid battle pack at $14.99. Now, this would be 5 droids and 2 Droidicas. You can't go too crazy with it. Maybe a droid with, like, a pilot one, or you could get a version that's, like, with the red type armor designs. But, I think it would still be an interesting concept, and I'd really like to see, one like that. We've gotten Battle Droid battle packs in the past, and I think the most prominent we've seen Battle Droids out of all the movies would be Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And yeah, so let's move into our next set. Now, the next one's actually a pretty fun one. I haven't seen too many people throw around for set ideas, but I thought this would be a great one. And this is Watto's Junk Shop at $29.99. There's barely any concepts for this. It was very hard to find. Like, I had to use mocks. But yeah, so this, in my opinion, would come with, Watto. This would be a great set to get Watto in, maybe a newer version of Watto. We also get Anakin Skywalker in his younger appearance, and then we get Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, you're going to notice Qui-Gon Jinn and, Anakin and Obi-Wan, they're going to show up a lot in this, set ideas list, so be warned, they are the main characters, so, it's to be expected. But I just think Watto's Junk Shop would be nice. You could get it in the same style as Luke's Homestead, maybe even Unkar Plutt's set. They can make that a $60 set and really beef it up. But, it really varies. I really could see them doing this from anywhere from $30 to, $50. It really, really is a bit of a varying thing. But yeah, so let's move into our next $30 set, which is Anakin's Homestead. We've gotten pretty much every other homestead except for Luke's. And I'd like to get Anakin's from when he was growing up as a child. And this would be great for 2 reasons. Mainly, this is a perfect area to include both Shmi Skywalker as well as C-3PO. This is a photo from LEGO Star Wars Photoshop. It's pretty funny, but the figure is the example. And I'd love to get 3PO and Shmi both in these designs. We haven't gotten them in LEGO yet. And then also it would obviously come with Anakin and maybe Qui-Gon. Those seem pretty no-brainer. And I feel like you could have, like, 2 rooms. You'd, like, split it up and open it up, and you could get a little kitchen, maybe a little table. And you could also get a little area for Anakin's room, like maybe with a little workbench. You could have him work on 3PO. I think that would be a great little one. And if they wanted to make this a little bulkier, they could probably include, like, a little area for him to build his pod racer. But chances are they wouldn't. I mean, this is a set ideas video. They've already made most of the pod racers, which is why you're not going to see too many pod racers on here. But it's still neat nonetheless. Now, next up, a one obviously they have to make is at $89.99, the Nabooian Royal Star Cruiser. So I think this would be great at a $90 price range. They don't have to make it silver. I know a lot of people want that monochrome silver. I think a great color they could use is that they could make a bunch of bricks out of the Captain Phasma design, that color, that silver version. If they can make it out of that, that would be absolutely great. Now, I'd love this. Obviously, I think the figures for this would be Padme, again, in her appearance from the Anakin's Pod Racer. You'd get a young Anakin Skywalker, Captain Panaka, her security guard. Maybe you'd even get one of her maids. I don't know. You also would be getting, obviously, R2-D2, which would be great. And finally, you get young Obi-Wan because he was chilling on that ship in Tatooine most of the time. And, maybe you'd have some fun features like a little storage bay for the droids, a little command room, maybe, You could even, somewhere in there, have a lounge. I'm really not sure. It would be a pretty small set, so it would be very limited. My guess is the only real room you'd have in this $90 set is maybe room for a pilot and maybe a tiny bit of room to sit Anakin and Captain Panaka down. You know, I can't imagine this being huge. You could probably see a UCS version, but I don't think LEGO would ever do that, just because the ship isn't iconic enough. But yeah. So next up after that, at $59.99, we have a Gungan City. Now, I just want them to do a full playset, fun thing with the Gungan City. You know, you could get the little council chambers and maybe a hallway. So in this, you get Boss Nass, Jar Jar Binks, Captain Tarpals, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan. You could even have a little area for a Gungan sub, like a small version or whatever. But yeah, I just think, you know, the Gungan City is a really fun area, and I think it would be great for LEGO to do. They don't do usually things like that. You know, an underwater city is not thing we've really seen since Atlantis, and they didn't even do a great job at, you know, capturing what this is. And I just really would love to see the Gungan City in LEGO form, and I'd be really curious to see all the building techniques they use. But next up, at $99.99, we have the Droid landing craft. Now, this was the ship we saw at the beginning of the Phantom Menace. Now, this would have a lot of little ships in it, so, you know, it would have mini MTTs, mini AATs. There's actually this great model right here that is pretty much perfect for what I think LEGO would do with this, you know, around, again, $100. It would come with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar. And I think it would come with a variety of droids as seen here, maybe even a droidica. You know, they were in the Phantom Menace pretty prominently. And, you know, I just think it works great. Maybe you have a few more smaller builds, but other than that, I really love the design here. You know, you'd have a little command room in there. We haven't seen the interior of the ship too much. We did get, you know, another version of it, but I'd like to see LEGO do this one, certainly. But yeah, so next up, I would like to have a $100 just all-out Gungan versus Droid battle. I don't know exactly what they call this battle, but that would just be a super fun, like, playset type build. I didn't want to put it in a Master Builder series way because it's just a land battle, so there's no real landmarks that, like, they could, like, you know, have a base or whatever. But yeah, so this would, you know, kind of come with Kadus. You get an AAT in here, you get Droidkas, you could get the shield bubble build, and the figures, I guess, would be Jar Jar and Captain Tarpals. And then you get maybe 2 to 3 Gungans. And again, this is a $100 set, which is why I'm kind of conservative on the figure numbers. And then probably 5 to 8 battle droids. I just think that would make sense. You'd have, again, a variety of battle droids. Obviously, 2 of those have to be piloting the AAT. And I just think that would be a super fun, like, LEGO Star Wars Battles thing that kids would really, really get to enjoy. And I would have all the play features to throw around Jar Jar and, like, launch him into droids or whatever. I just see a lot of possibilities there. Now, let's get into one of my favorite ideas for a LEGO Star Wars Phantom Menace set and LEGO Star Wars set in general. Now, we've gotten the Cantina, we've gotten the Ewok Village, we've gotten Bespin. Now, I would like to see a Master Builder Series style Naboo Palace. So this would be around $350, same with all those other sets. You know, we get some small builds with it, like in the, you know, Mos Eisley Cantina, we got a speeder, we got the little pod, and we got all those extra buildings. I think with this, you know, we could probably see us getting a Naboo speeder, the little green ones. We'd also see maybe a mini Naboo fighter, and, you know, we could even possibly see a N1 Naboo starfighter. And then obviously you'd be getting the palace room, like the big meeting chamber, which would be a sick area. You know, you have Padme sitting in her chair. You get the Darth Maul fight room for the shield generator. That would be a little area. Maybe you could even have a hangar in there. It could be jam-packed with stuff. The figures in this would be Queen Amidala in her, you know, royal robes, garbs, however you would like to have it. Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously. Young Obi-Wan Kenobi. Darth Maul is a no-brainer. Young Anakin with his little pilot helmet. You could even see R2-D2, which would be great. You get Jar Jar Binks. He's a no-brainer. Same thing with Boss Nass. He was there at the end holding the orb. That would be a great area to include him. C.O. Bibble, the guy with the beard. I like him. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw him. We need, you know, some of the royal representation in there, you know, negotiations. You get Captain Panaka, and I think you get 4 Naboo security guards. Maybe you get a few of the pilots in there too. I don't know. I just said 4 guards randomly. You get Nute Gunray and a Nemoidian and maybe 4 battle droids to fight them off because there was a big little battle in there. So that would be pretty fun, and I just think that would be a great little build for $350. I'd totally buy that in a heartbeat. I would love them to do like one for each movie. They do the Naboo Palace, and then for Episode 2 they did, you know, I guess you'll just have to wait for the other set idea sets, but I'd love them to do that. But next up, I have an 18 plus like buildable droid set because they always do these, and I think an 18 plus pit droid set at around $69.99 would be great. It would be in the same style as the probe droid set that we recently got. I think if you got that, but with a pit droid, I'd like that. I wouldn't mind that at all, especially the pit droids. I've also been prominent in The Mandalorian, so that would be a great thing, and they were obviously most prominent here, and I just like them a lot. Now, next up after that, we have a $300 set, $299, and this would be a UCS droid control ship. Now, in this, in terms of features, I don't imagine it being insane because of the way it's built. You couldn't fit that many rooms in it. But I'd say maybe in the center you could get a little command room. Maybe on the sides you get a small hangar bay with small ships, which would be great. And I figure if they were only to do 2 figures for this, like they usually have, you'd see Nuke Gunray and Darth Maul. That would be it. You get a hyper-detailed Nuke Gunray and Darth Maul. Maybe you could see them switch out, Nuke Gunray with the TC-14 droid, or you could see them switch out Darth Maul with the TC-14 droid. But if they were to do a playset of this particular build, I would say, you'd probably get figures like the other Nemoidian Tehau. He has like a weird face. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, maybe a Pilot Anakin, Droid Cuz, again, TC-14. You'd see a lot of people included into that type of thing as a playset, but I really only see them doing that as a UCS set now. I don't see them going back and making that a playset, unfortunately. But they haven't even made the set at all. And the other thing you'll notice about a lot of the sets I chose is they haven't made any of these. They've I've mentioned they'd include a tiny speeder in a set, but it would never be the full set. And I just think they would be great. There are a lot of major elements of the Phantom Menace that LEGO has yet to do, and I think would be a really great inclusion here. But yeah, so those were my set ideas. I want to know what your guys' ideas are down below. I was also contemplating, I want to put this out there because I know someone's going to say something, but a pod racer, entire setup, so you get 6 pod racers, maybe the bleachers or whatever. They kind of already did that, but it was forever ago, so it would be completely different if they redid it, and it would probably be another Master Builder series set. I just don't see LEGO doing it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Just the generic pod racers aren't that exciting. And in my personal opinion, I didn't want to have to go look and find every different pod racer name and their entire crew. That just didn't seem fun to me. But yeah, with that said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you all in the next one. Remember to peace out.